Bottoms fans, this is Scorp1701, and tonight we are going to be taking a look at yet another McFarlane Toys DC Superpowers action figure. And we have moved into Wave 6, and in Wave 6 we have the classic Hal Jordan Green Lantern. And it doesn't get more classic than this. This is the Hal Jordan that I remember from the Superpowers line. It is almost a one-for-one matchup of the original Green Lantern, but we'll take a look at that in just a minute. But first off, let's take a look at this awesome packaging. And like we've done with the other Superpowers, we're going to move this off to the side so we can compare this with the awesomeness of the original packaging from the classic series. And you can see there is not a lot of differences here. You have the same beautiful blue, the same Superpowers with the stars. Even the Green Lantern symbol at the top of the packaging is the same as it was on the other one, just the colors are slightly different. And then you have Hal Jordan in the package, and the drawings of Green Lantern are a little different. You got the new one in a cool heroic pose, and on the original you have him charging his ring with his power battery. So that is really cool when it comes to packaging and the differences. But anyway, moving to this particular packaging, nothing that we haven't seen before with your Superpowers collection. Moving to the back of the blister card, up at the top you have 12 plus, collect them all, DC Direct, McFarlane Toys, Superpowers, and as you can see, the ranks continue to grow. Let's zoom in real close so we can see everybody, and this is really cool. I love these little figures. I love the fact that we get so many of them. But unfortunately, we are starting to get a lot of repaints with all the Batman, and you got a couple Superman and a couple Flashes and 2 Wonder Womans and Robins. But I think for the most part, they're still keeping the line fresh because most of the characters did have variations on their costumes, and it's okay. All right, zooming back out, you can see in this wave you also have the Batmobile, the Invisible Jet, and the Whirly Bat has made its appearance. Coming over to the right side, you do get a brief read-up of the Green Lantern, and you can pause the video here, read that to your heart's content, but we must be moving on and outward. Coming down, you do have some credits for the box at the bottom, and you have the barcode, and normally this will tell you where this particular figure came from, but all it basically tells us is that this is the Wave 6 Green Lantern Hal Jordan. So Hal Jordan's costume really hasn't changed that much over the years, and that's okay with me. And so there's really no specific place that this particular figure could have came from other than just the standard Green Lantern Corps. Alright, and that is going to be the packaging. I don't want to see Hal Jordan in the package. I know you don't, so let's get him out and check out this Green Lantern's might. And here we have Green Lantern out of the packaging, and out of the packaging he stands approximately 4.5 inches tall, and he comes with his power battery, and that's pretty much it, and that's pretty much all he needs. So before we take a look at the power battery, I want to take a closer look at Hal Jordan himself. And coming in real close on Hal Jordan's head sculpt, you can see it is a very nice head sculpt. He has his standard brown head of hair. It's really nice, a little darker than I remember it. You have the little spit curl right here on the front, nice skin tone coming down to his green mask, which covers his eyes and his nose. Beautiful white eyes painted in there. He has kind of a nice smile here because he's a happy fella. Coming around, you do have some molded ears in there, and then the hair, it goes all the way back to the bottom of his neck, and it has a lot of cool detail and strands. I like that. Coming back to the front of the figure, let's zoom out just a little bit so we can see the upper torso of the figure. And pretty much this is going to be your standard Green Lantern costume. It's going to be green at the shoulders, coming down the center of the body. You have a beautiful Green Lantern symbol there on his chest. The mid arms are black, and you got a little bit of black coming on the sides. I like that. Coming down to some nice white gloves. You do have his power ring molded in there, so that is pretty neat. Getting close as I can on that. So, there's not a lot of detail. It's basically just a green circle. That's really much all it needs to be, especially on a figure this small. Coming down, the legs are going to be black, and then you're going to have your standard green boots. So yeah, it's basically your standard Green Lantern costume, like I said before. On the back, nothing that you wouldn't expect. There is no symbol on the back, and I don't think there usually is. And on the bottom of the figure, you do have some peg holes here. And on the inside of the boot here, you do have some copyright material, if that is of any interest to you. I can scroll in, you can see that, and if you want to try to make out what it says there. But anyway, that is pretty much what your Hal Jordan looks like, and that's what he's supposed to look like, because, you know, again, Hal Jordan never really changed his costume that much, and, you know, it being a uniform, more or less, it doesn't need to be changed. But anyway, we'll put him here, and what we'll do is, like we've done previously, we will put a picture of the original Superpowers Green Lantern up on the screen. And as you can see here, there is not much difference in this new one and the original. I think the original's hair was a lot brighter, and I think the green was a bit brighter on the original too. But other than that, it's the same. And I like it when McFarlane makes these toys almost the same as they were back in the day, because that really brings back the feels. Alright, and that is what your Hal Jordan is going to look like. Moving on. And for our articulation, starting at the head can go around 360 degrees. There is no tiltage, no wiggle waggle. The arm can go around 360 degrees. You do not get a bicep rotation, an elbow bend, a forearm rotation, or a hand rotation. Coming to the center of the body, you do not have any waist articulation or ab crunch. And that will bring us to the legs, and the legs can come up a long way, so that's not bad there. And they can go back a longer way, so that is cool. Definitely get over 90 degrees there. Coming down, there is no thigh rotation, but you do get a knee bend, which is good. Got about 90 degrees there. And there is no boot cut, and there is no foot articulation, rotation, or rocker. So that is it for your Green Lantern articulation. Very much how it was back in the day. And, well, with the exception of the action feature, this is what we got growing up. Alright, and that is Green Lantern's articulation. Moving on. And taking a look at the Green Lantern's accessory, he comes with his green power battery, and it's okay. It is done in a very nice mold. He looks like a lantern, and basically what he would do with this is he would put his ring in there, it would charge it, and then he could go and do whatever. So all Green Lanterns should come with a power battery. It's definitely something that they need, and he can hold this and light his darkest hour if you want so inclined. I know that's a different franchise, but still, it's a lantern. What's he supposed to do with it other than charge his ring? He can light things up. Alright. And that is the Green Lantern's power battery accessory. Moving on. And for comparison, here you have the Green Lantern with the rest of the Superpowers Justice League. We have Superman, Classic Detective Batman, the Variant Wonder Woman, the Flash, and Aquaman. And that is really cool. This is pretty much all you need to create your classic Super Friends line. And they look great. And if this was all the Superpowers figures that we got from this line, I would be a happy collector. But I know there's more down the road. I can't wait to see what McFarlane puts out next. And this has been your comparisons. Moving on. And this has been the McFarlane Toys DC Superpowers Green Lantern Hal Jordan. Now, this wasn't the first Green Lantern we got with the Superpowers series. This was actually the second. They gave us John Stewart first, which is a bit surprising to me because, well, when you think of the 80s Superpowers, Hal Jordan was there, but John Stewart wasn't. But I guess John Stewart is a good enough Green Lantern in his own respect. I guess maybe they wanted to do something modern. But fast forward 5 more waves, and then we finally got our Hal Jordan, and they followed up that with a Kilowog in wave 7. But my favorite Green Lantern has yet to make an appearance, and that is going to be Kyle Rayner. So hopefully they'll give us a Kyle soon, because I definitely want him. But in regards to Hal here, this is a perfectly great Green Lantern figure. Very reminiscent of the original one we got in the 80s, just slightly different paint apps and obviously missing the action feature, but I'm very happy to have this figure. And if you're a Superpowers fan and you've been picking up figures here and there, you'll definitely want to add this one to your collection. And if you're looking for him, you can find him right now online and at your local retailers such as GameStop and Walmart for approximately $10 to $15 depending on where you pick him up. So happy hunting. Now this will wrap up our Superpowers catch-up that we've been doing all week, and I hope you've enjoyed taking a look at these cute little figures. And before I go, I will leave you with a preview for Wave 8 that is supposed to be coming out this summer, and that will entail Booster Gold, Guy Gardner, Batman The Dark Knight Returns, Black Manta, which is now repainted to be in a black costume, and the Fleischer Superman. And those look like some exciting figures to pick up if you're interested, and if you like any of those particular costumes or variant, then keep an eye on the shelves this summer and you'll be able to find them. Alright guys, well that is the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, have a great night and keep playing.